food, the music, the vibe. Kick off your summer at the Ohio Black Expo Riverfront Culture Fest. Tell your friends, share with family. There's no other place to be Memorial Day weekend. Celebrate Black excellence.
Plus 2 concerts featuring Tidra Moses, Talib Kweli, and Jay Rawls, the one and only Marsha Ambrosius, and more.
Experience the African diaspora at its finest. Go to OhioBlackExpo.com for tickets, updates, and more. Visit OhioBlackExpo.com. That's OhioBlackExpo.com.
Are you a successful entrepreneur or one in training? You've got the vision, but do you have the right partner to build your brand, your team, and your future online and off? At CPRfirm.com, we offer expert consulting, financial guidance, and life coaching because we believe in doing life with our clients. After all, what is it for a man to gain the world and lose his soul? Founded by Callan Cash Coleman, we help our clients not only succeed, but plan to retire rich. Your business deserves the best. Start building your legacy today at CPRfirm.com.
Finding the right real estate professional can be challenging. I'm broker Melissa Wilson. I'm knowledgeable in all aspects of the real estate process. So whether you're looking to buy new or an existing home or have a commercial need, I'm here to help.
Make sure you pick up my 2 books that's in Amazon right now. The first one is Passive-Aggressive Racism and the System of White Supremacy. And I talk about in that particular book how the system of white supremacy really runs on our daily lives here in America. In our latest book, 7 Steps to Decolonize the Mind, we go through those steps to try to deprogram you from the system of white supremacy. Make sure you can pick up those books on Amazon.com.
What is it that you think men are not getting at home?
I think they're not really being loved properly. You know, when you stay with someone for so long and you feel like, oh, I don't really have to do much, don't ever be comfortable around a human being. They can switch. Even your own husband. Shout out to the slay queens who are getting their thing without having to sell a thing, you know?
Yeah.
Trust me, you can get whatever you want, like once you put your mind to it.
Watch Slay Queen only on the African Diaspora News Channel app.
What if I told you there's a news platform made just for us? Unfiltered, unapologetic, telling our stories from Africa and the diaspora. The African Diaspora News Channel app keeps you informed and empowered from wherever you are at any time. Don't just watch, join the movement. Download the app now and stay connected to the news that matters.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for joining us on the stream this evening. It is March 26th, and we don't have that long, and we'll be done with the month of March. I mean, shoot, the first 3 months of the year are going so fast, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we're going to be speaking about the $75 success story and how that narrative is used. Oh, hold on. I got to get back to what I'm at. And how that narrative is used to try to speak ill about us and even used to undermine us at times. So we're going to talk about that tonight. I think it's a good conversation to have because when they bring up, I came over here with $1.75 and look at me, and what about you FBAs? Y'all been here and all of that. Like, yeah, we're going to have that conversation because they're not telling the full truth on how they, quote unquote, made it, right? So we're going to talk about that tonight. Also, at the, toward the end, we'll switch over to the app. We want to look at a video. We're starting to do that now. We'll do so much of the stream here on YouTube. Then we switch over to the app. Well, we're streaming on the app as of right now. So it's not like we're not streaming there. And then we'll finish off the stream there, have a video I want to review and talk about with one of the folks. And we know we want to talk freely without having no issues, right? Today we put up a poll. I'm still looking at this poll. And on this poll, we wanted your all opinion about, because we were going to Ethiopia here in a few days. And the next one that people like to take part of. Now, if you're that kind of person, don't want to travel, don't want to go nowhere, hey, stay here. Please stay here. Enjoy yourself. At least travel and see America. If you're going to do that, do that. Well, there are people that want to, want to go with like-minded people, want to do group travel. And we have, tour companies that want to work with our platform and to facilitate that. So that's what we do. So we put up a poll. And on this poll, we had 3 different countries. It had South Africa and Zimbabwe. So basically, that package would be, doing South Africa and Zimbabwe. So you get basically 2 countries on that package. One was selected was Brazil, mostly focusing on Black Brazil, right? And the third one was Ghana. And last time I checked, I'm gonna see. Let me check one more time where we at as of now in the making of this video with about 500 votes. Overwhelmingly, people are saying South Africa and Zimbabwe at 47%. Brazil with 30 and Ghana 23. I had a feeling Ghana was going to be that low because so many people have went to Ghana already, and Ghana was a hot spot. Let me say for a long time, Ghana was a hot spot for a lot of people to travel to, especially in our community. But hey, I think Zimbabwe also, this is my opinion. I think going to South Africa and Zimbabwe would be good as well, especially if you get 2 countries, going. So we definitely will look and consider all of that. So maybe getting the talks about, that here shortly. I'll let y'all know when it comes to these trips. I always say get your deposit down early because if it's gone, it's gone. And that's it. I know last time they kind of opened it up a little more, especially when we went to South Africa. They opened it up more than what they should have, to try to accommodate people here. So I always say if you want your spot, get it when we put that out. All right. So let's go ahead and get started here because I don't want to take a whole lot of your time because I know y'all are some very, very busy people. And so there was, if you know Winsome Sears, she is the lieutenant governor of, the state is going blank in my mind. Hold on, give me a second. I just pulled her up. She is the lieutenant governor of, let me pull her up. Let me see, Winsome. There she go. Okay. She's the lieutenant governor of Virginia. Now, she is, have a Jamaican background. And, they kind of prop her up a little bit in the Republican Party. Of course, Winsome Sears have never, been anything for, Black Americans here in this country. The white supremacists like to use people like Winsome Sears and Candace Owens and people like that, people with immigrant backgrounds, to try to say, look at them and why you FBAs aren't being like them, but they never tell the full story about those people. They never do. They also comparing FBAs to immigrants don't even match, even if they Black. It don't even match, and I'm getting to why you can't compare FBAs to Black immigrants. You just can't do that, right? But let me go ahead on and play what Winsome said here. Let me go ahead on and get to where we at. Okay. Where is she at? Hold on. Oh, there we go. All right. Let me play. Now, she's going to be speaking about her political election. So, but it's one part I want to focus on. So here we go. Not a long clip.
Then when it comes to worker freedom, listen, let me tell you, One of the things, and this is informed by my father coming to America with only $1.75 in his pocket, and that means he needed every dime he made for his family. And so my opponent on the other freedom, listen, let me tell you, one of the things, and this is informed by my father coming to America with only $1.75 in his pocket, and that means he needed every dime he made for his family.
Now, when they say they come to America with $1.75, oh, my mama had $1, my daddy had $1. They came here to this country and they became successful. First of all, you need to stop lying, okay? You can't come to America with $1 in your pocket. First of all, you got to get a visa, whether it's tourist visa, student visa. Now, in her homeland, if you want to get a visa right now, it costs $185. And the cold part about that is they may not approve it and you don't get your money back. That's the gamble of you trying to get a U.S. visa. So if you're a person from her homeland of Jamaica that want to come over here, even on a tourist visa, that's $185, right? So let's say you muster the money, get it, they approve you, you come on over here to America, right? How you gonna make it in America, even at a time period where her father came, because she's let me see her exact age. Let me pull up her age. I'll give y'all her age in a minute. She's 61 years old. She was born in 1964. Okay, so trying to think I need to find out when she got here, but she's 61. So let's say in the 1960s, right? Even if you had $1.75, life still costs more than $1.75. So they need to stop that narrative about my daddy came here $1.75 and you FBAs been here for 400 years and you still don't have this and that. And my people came here and did. Well, hold on. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about first, get to how you make it, right? Was quote unquote with $1.75, which you don't come here $1.75. That's a lie. Now, when they get here, they don't come to our communities. They don't do that, right? They go look for people of their own lineage. So they don't come join with us. That's why you say that they don't believe in Pan-Africanism. Because if they believe in Pan-Africanism, the first place they will come is seek us, right? But they don't do that. So they go and, hold on a second. Okay, I'm just looking at something y'all said in the chat. I said, what are they saying? So anyway, so the first thing they do, they go out and seek their own community. They delineate, right? They delineate from FBAs to go look out for their own community. Now, we all black, how they say we are in America, right? We all black. What are y'all FBAs doing? Why are y'all delineating? This is so divisive. But yet when you come to America, the first thing you do is become divisive and you delineate and you divide from FBAs to go seek out your community where you come from, your homeland, in which y'all don't have the greater numbers like FBAs. I think it would be easier to get help from FBAs, right? Because more of us here. Okay, so you delineate, you go to your community. And in that community, you know, because y'all used to live in a bunch of people to a house, right? So you may say, okay, let me take this family in. There may be 20 of us in this house, but shoot, we sleeping on top of each other. I guess it'll have to do. You know, maybe one bathroom, but 20 people in there. Most FBAs are not going to do that, okay? So that's just number one. You know, there's a lot of them heavy in the church, some of them Islam, so they tap into those communities as well. Now, when you got 20 people living in a house, think about it. The rent, even if in today's standard, you have a house, 2-bedroom house, but you got 20 people living in there. You got, you know, maybe the older people sleeping in the bedrooms, all the younger people, man, they got, you know, pull out, you know, sofa beds, air mattresses. They living it up in there, right? Okay, cool. If you got rent, and let's say it's $2,000, $2,500 a month, with 20 people staying in there, right? The rent not gonna be that bad if we split it up. So we can take low-wage jobs that's not getting paid much, because there's a gang of us living in the house. Now, if you look at FBAs, we're not gonna live on top of each other. So it's gonna be a little bit more of a difficulty of a cost of living, because we just don't live on top of each other. We just not doing it because that's kind of what it is. We was on top of each other in slavery on the boats. We was treated bad. Okay, so we kind of nah, I don't want to be on top of each other no more. We was kind of doing that in the slave quarters. Nah, I want my own space. I want to do my own thing. So it's going to be a little bit more expensive on FBAs in the area of housing versus an immigrant that just came here and they just stacked up on top of each other. Okay, yeah. Natasha says a lot of snoring, but it is what it is. Okay, so if a gang of y'all take low wage jobs, there's a lot of money coming in. Even if you take a job underneath the table making $5 an hour, now your minimum wage. You know what I'm saying? If you got 10 of y'all in there, making that per hour, that's a lot of money coming in. Think about that. That is a lot of money. That's a lot. What, $50 an hour coming in there? That's 10 I'm working, $50 an hour coming in that place. So that's the advantage. Another advantage that they have over us, which give us some difficulty, right? And that's when they try to compare us, is that they say, well, yeah, I'm successful. Well, let's call it what it is. Your families was never broken up. You didn't have the CIA making sure crack cocaine get put in your communities. You didn't have mass incarceration in your countries. So you still have your mother, your father, and your children. You wasn't targeted like we were. Sabotaging our businesses, burning down our businesses, running us out or burning us out of our cities. That never happened to you. You never had a system that focused on turning the black woman against the black man or the black man against the black woman. You never had that. And then when they put you you're destitute and poor and you go for some government help, they say, hey, a man can't be in the house. And at that time period, when they first started saying that, they would actually go to the house and go into the house and look in the closets, look underneath the bed. They would look everywhere, inspections, when you was getting this government assistance back then. So a man truly could not be in the house if they got some government assistance. Well, with time, you keep saying a man can't be in the house, right? Let's say this man lost his job. It happened. And let's say in the 1970s, when they start shutting down all the manufacturing jobs and they start shipping all these jobs to Asia, right? A lot of black men worked in factories, had good jobs, they lost them all. So you have a black family who really needs some help. The government's giving help, but the man can't be there. That causes strain in the relationship because think about it. Men, when you can't provide, how do your woman look at you? How do your kids look at you? How do society look at you? Okay? Well, that man don't even take care of his family. That's the first thing people say. They don't say nothing about that woman. They say about the man. He can't take care of his family. He's not taking care of his family. Do you know how embarrassing it is for a man who can't take care of his family, him personally? Because it's in us to provide, right? But that weapon was used to cause a wedge and a divide in the black community. Take an immigrant, no matter where they come from, but let's say specifically black immigrants. Nobody did that to their families. So you have families that come in here intact. When you have intact families, you definitely could become more successful a lot faster. Look at FBA families, right? FBAs still have families, not like we should. You know what I'm saying? I think we need to go to war against that narrative telling us to stay single and telling us not to get married. I think we need to go to war against that narrative because we were more powerful when we had a man and woman household and some children versus just being single and doing whatever you want to do. That's so counterproductive to our community. But you have intact families coming in, man, woman, children, no matter where these immigrants are coming from, they're intact families. And when you have intact families, you have a father in the home, a mother in the home. Sometimes you got a grandma, auntie, all these different people, intact families with these kids. Yeah, they can, even though they say this parent didn't have much, but with an intact family, they can do a little bit more versus you have a broken home and a broken family. So our broken family didn't come from we just didn't want to be married no more oh, we can't stand the woman can't stand the man. It came from the anti-black racists targeting our family specifically. They didn't target nobody else's family, just ours, because they understood the black family was the nucleus and core of the power of FBAs. So we could break the black family, we could break the black people. Because usually if you break the family, you break a nation. That's usually how it is. That's usually how it is. Now I was kind of looking at what y'all saying. He said, "There's too much going on in one house." Yeah. Let me continue. So that's one comparison you can't have about the family structure. Okay. Now, another thing the immigrants are doing, they have an underground or informal economy. Let's say new immigrants, say especially undocumented ones who don't have no papers, might earn cash on the table by babysitting, yard work, selling things. Let me tell you what else they be selling too. They be selling drugs, some of them. A lot of them out here, some of them. And we've seen this out of New York, where they out here on the blade. They selling that too. A lot of underground economies that they're doing, legal or illegal. Most FBAs, we talking about most of us. When I talk, yes, you got crime in every community, but we don't really have a big underground economy like that. We're not doing a whole lot of things underneath the table that they would do when they first come here, right? So you can't compare it because we don't have to. We're citizens. We don't have to have no underground economy. But because we're citizens, we have to pay a whole lot of taxes. And we don't get the help. Now, let's get to the next thing that I want to get to. The government or NGO assistance. And you know FBAs, that's the biggest one. The government does not help FBAs. NGOs for sure, non-governmental organizations, they don't help FBAs either, okay? So when a new immigrant come into this country or a group of immigrants, remember that one household, 20 people, they're getting government assistance that FBAs can't get. Recent time, President Joe Biden, he was bringing these people in by the millions. And when they got to these cities, government assistance came to these people. They was having shelter to stay in, free rent. They didn't have to pay nothing, just stay in the shelter. They were getting free food, free. FBAs gotta pay for food every day. We gotta pay our rent. We struggle to pay rent. The majority of FBAs in this country rent anyway. So they get free rent that FBAs don't get with the help of the government. They get free food. FBAs don't get that. So we're constantly having to spend our money, right? They were so bad during the Biden administration. In New York in particular, we don't want this food. We want our cultural food. We want the food from our country. We don't want this mess y'all serving us. They had the nerve to come up here and say they want their food when they weren't supposed to be here. You understand? And yet the Democrats was giving them their food. Then they say, well, New York in particular, let's go ahead on and give them a debit card. That way they're not wasting food no more because it's costing more money when they're wasting food. They're just throwing it away. They're not eating it. So they gave them a debit card. Remember? A debit card. So they're going to get more free food and any other things they want. Then people who are cashiers was putting out reports, remember? Saying like, wait a minute, this one immigrant got $4,000 on his card and I'm struggling to go pay for some eggs or some milk? What the hell is this? And then on top of that, they was giving them free job training. FBAs don't get free job training, job placement assistance. We're talking about free. And it was secretive. Chicago, they had a quote unquote secret job fair, undisclosed location, just for them. Where was the folks complaining about it? I didn't hear them complaining. But if they had some secret location with job placement assistance for us, hell would be raised. Oh, y'all just anti-white. Y'all don't like white people. Reverse racism, reverse discrimination, and all that other crap. Right? So let's think about all the help they're getting from the government. My tax dollars and your tax dollars went to helping them, giving them a leg up that you and I cannot receive. Let's take it a step further. Remember in Chicago, they had a Venezuelan family, only been in this country for 2 years. And they moved into a home in the black community. They moved into the home in the black community after being here 2 years. They received money from the city of Chicago to do it and down payment assistance. On top of that, with the program with the bank, with the first-time home buyers. There are FBAs in there, I think it was that Austin neighborhood, in that area in Chicago, that could not even buy a home in the community they've been living in for years. But yet you got migrants from Venezuela come in here and within 2 years get a whole home with government assistance. So how can you compare your $1.75 story to FBAs who's not getting no government assistance? Not like that. And a few people who are getting some food stamps, Section 8, that's not going to make them thrive. That's going to just sustain them, but it's not going to make them thrive. And you got to be in abject poverty on paper to get a lot of that stuff. Literally, what is it, like $26,000 a year that you got to make to get them programs? That's literally abject poverty. So yeah, you can come here with $1.75 when you live in 20 in the house. Y'all can work for $5 an hour. If it's 10, 20, 30 y'all working, whatever, and contribute to one house, the bill's not going to be that bad. Yeah, it may be a little bit more elevated on the lights, water, and gas, but hey, y'all got it. A lot of y'all working, right? Then some of you go to shelters and you're living for free there and ain't paying rent. You're eating food for everything's for free, while Black Americans are dealing with it. Then on top of that, you go to college and they got immigrant only scholarships. That's for immigrants only that FBAs can't even get. It's for immigrants. And now even talking about how they separate themselves with the Caribbean, scholarships, or it could be some of them have the African scholarships. Everybody's being, of course, delineating and being divisive, right? We all not one black people here in America, as we should be, right? You say we all black, we all get treated the same, but yet why aren't we together like that? No, remember, you came to this country and you delineated. You divided yourself away from us. It wasn't like, hey, you came over here, we don't want y'all around us. Get out of here. That's not how it happened. Then you justify it by saying, well, this FBA called me an African booty scratcher. Or this FBA said that I smell, or he was talking about my clothes, or he was talking about my hair. You know what I'm saying? When people do that they show a lack of accountability. And I keep saying, if you're my, because some people still my age, you know what I'm saying, mid-40s, my age, and still talking about when some brother or sister roasted them in the freaking 3rd grade. Like, bro, you been here how long? Can you go to therapy already? Okay, that's what they called you. I remember I was asked this question in an interview. Well, what about when they called us African booty scratcher? I said, guess what? I was called African booty scratcher too. That was a common diss at that time because I didn't grow up around Africans at all. So it was just a common diss. You know what I'm saying? So like chill out, bro. Kids do that. Yes, you're right, Laverne. Section 8 is not a lifestyle because you don't get nothing out of Section 8. But check this out. They're not putting the immigrants in Section 8. Some of them they may, But they getting them, like Chicago, they putting them in homes, becoming home buyers. You're not even here legally, and you got a whole house. But the legal citizens of the United States can't get one, the FBAs. Then y'all want to get mad when FBAs call it out about immigration, and y'all say, oh, you FBAs, you know, y'all are divisive, y'all are this, y'all are that. Like, hold on, bruh. Hold on. Then on top of that, y'all like to get disrespectful. Do I still have that video up here? Yeah, here we go. Look, then y'all come over here and y'all get disrespectful. Do you remember this video?
You lazy! No more money for you! You working! No more money for you! Bye-bye. Go back across the No more money for you! It's lazy! You lazy!
Yeah, and on top of all of that, you come over here saying we're lazy. And then we say, well, if you're so hardworking, why didn't you do that back in your homeland? Why you didn't show us how you make your country great? Why you had to come here? That's why a lot of black people are kind of like, I'm cool on this immigration, because you'll come in here and be disrespectful at the same time. You don't realize, like, man, let me keep my mouth shut, keep my head down. I'm going to smile at everybody. I'm not causing no trouble because I know I'm getting over. I'm not, but no. A lot of them got very disrespectful. A lot of them thought they can talk to us any kind of way. And what ended up happening because of that? Do you know a lot of FBAs sat it out because of immigration? You know that? Because they knew Kamala Harris would be bringing in more people. Way more than probably Joe Biden would have brought in. She would have did it. That's part of the reason why. Yeah, you people say the economy, but now actually it was the immigration. It was the immigration. We got enough problem in our cities, okay? Yeah, the dude had a nerve. But the reason why he says that is because, think about it, he's giving everything for free. For free. So, you know, when you give somebody things for free that they don't have to work for, they become entitled. They become arrogant. And these other groups want to come in here and assimilate to white supremacy. And to assimilate to white supremacy, you must become an anti-black racist. You understand? Now, Risa said they get paid under the table, then get handouts. He said, shake my head, straight come up. Then their kids get an MLK scholarship, plus the ones for them specifically. Risa, yes, that's another thing that they could do. They can go get the Caribbean scholarship and go get the Juneteenth scholarship. You understand what I'm saying? They can go get the Nigerian scholarship and, like she said, the MLK scholarship. They go get both. But let us say, you know what? Okay, well, shoot, we all black. Let's go apply for the Nigerian scholarship in America. No, y'all, you don't have no lineage tied to Nigeria, so, you know, kind of disqualified. So everything is lineage at that point. Okay, cool. So if we start creating FBA scholarships, and we say the criteria to get the FBA scholarship is you must, you know, be a descendant of the enslaved people here in the United States of America, and that's the only way you can get it. It's not based on race. It's not even based on nationality. It's based on lineage. Oh, they'll be saying we divisive. Oh, we wrong for saying that you must be a descendant of enslaved people here in America. We wouldn't be wrong. Not at all. Because that's called what it is. Martin Luther King didn't fight for nobody else like he fought for us. Of course, he spoke against injustice throughout the world. But come on, Juneteenth, these other people that come here, they didn't, that's not their holiday. That don't mean nothing to them. But they slide on in to get a Juneteenth scholarship, right? So when they come over here, it's like a candy store. Because you go to their countries, their government is not doing a thing for them. They're not giving them no help. If a woman gets pregnant in the majority of these countries, they don't get no welfare. They don't no such thing as welfare. They don't get no food stamps, please. They don't get no WIC. They don't get nothing. You pregnant on your own as a woman, you got pregnant by that man, you better go look for him. Deal with it. It ain't our problem. You made that baby. You fix it. If that baby starve, it's not our problem. Trust me, I've seen how they get down in these other countries. It's sad. It's really sad, actually. It's very, very sad. Like, because I come from America, I was so shocked to see women get access to certain things. So I say, wait, hold on, what? They don't help the women? Nah, they don't do that. I'm like, wow. So when they come over here, they're like, oh my God, this place is the land of milk and honey. Look at all the free stuff I'm getting. My God. And then when they get all this free stuff, they look at black people and say, you've been here hundreds of years. How you not making it? How is it I got a whole doctorate degree and you don't? That's what they'll say. I'm like, you didn't have to suffer anything? We the one did the suffering and you walking on our backs. That's really what it is. You wasn't here during the fight. You wouldn't get water hosed. You wouldn't get bit by dogs. They wasn't blowing up your churches. They wasn't putting y'all on trees. They wasn't when one of the men in your community have a successful business because these folks are jealous of how successful that man is, they go take his life and then leave a woman with some kids and now she's destitute because that man was providing. Or you have a brother that's a successful farmer and they want his land and he don't want to give it up, right? And then they go do some terrorism, take his life, and now they lose they farm and all of that. And now the woman's out. You know what I'm saying? That concept kept happening to black people. None of these people that come to this country, immigrate here, none of them went through that. None of them. And I promise you, if any of them had to go through even 2 minutes of that, they'll be right back on the plane being out of here. Because I tell people this, if you flee, you didn't show loyalty to your homeland. So why would they show loyalty here? If it gets bad here, they're going to leave. Because they didn't come here to... If they didn't fight for their own homeland, why in the hell would they fight for America? Why? You didn't fight for the land of your ancestors. You didn't. Now, some people say, well, I come for education. It is messed up in my country. Look at how it is. And some of them countries are messed up. It's true. Some of the politicians are messed up. 100% correct. But here's my thing. Let's say you're in the African continent. Okay, come over here, get your education. Cool, get it. But can you go back to another African country and help the people, not have a brain drain? Let's say your country is messed up. Not every African country is messed up. Namibia is not messed up. Botswana is not messed up. You know what I'm saying? Kenya, pretty stable. I mean, the government has its issues, but Kenya's pretty stable, right? South Africa. Of course, everybody flooded South Africa, so I know South Africa right now. Don't tell them to come here. We got enough. No more. We closed. I'm just mentioning because y'all stable, okay? Ghana's pretty stable. Not perfect, but Ghana's stable, right? Why everybody want to come flood here? The ones who are leaving. Or some of them go to the UK. They go there, but they don't want to go back to their homeland. If they have problems in the UK, they're going to leave. They're not going to help out the UK. No. You said that we should see the Illinois license plates in Atlanta right now. Natasha, what's going on? Is it a lot of people from Chicago moving down or to Atlanta? Is it immigrants, FBAs? Who is it? Now, if I think I know what you're talking about, probably because Tom Homan and them was focusing on Chicago, and I heard the Chicago streets and got clear. Because the last time I went to Chicago, of course, it was underneath Biden, right? And I seen the immigrants out there. I said they were deep out there. And that's another thing. When I was out in Chicago with the immigrants, they was out there selling things, selling candy, soda, selling food. I'm like, where y'all get money from to have all this merchandise? Where you get this money from? The government. That's how they making money. But let us want to go start a little stand or something on the side of the road. You got a health permit. You got a permit for that. I mean, shoot. He ain't got one. Oh, he different. Now you got to have a permit. Like, wow, really? Hey, you say Atlanta full? Yeah, I've been hearing about that. Now, they work together. That's another thing. They work together. And sometimes they have worked together to undermine FBAs too. Because I've seen it with my own two eyes. I've dealt with it. Not with black immigrants, but I've dealt with it with Hispanic immigrants. I've seen how they try to undermine, especially black people, some of these men that come here. Oh, I'm just coming here to work. And then they get enough of them, and now they trying to conspire against the black men. I don't never see them conspire against the white men. But I see them conspire against the black man because they want to get their cousin and everybody else, their brother that's living in that house they were in, to have that job. So they're up here snitching on you constantly to the white man, trying to get you fired. But check this out. When they become supervisors and get enough of them, then they try to get they start getting the white men out of there too. Oh yeah. And I've seen them where they be the biggest bootlicks. Oh boy, you really want to see some shucking and jiving? I've seen it. And I'm pretty sure some of you have seen it too. And that's really what it is. You know, on top of that, because all that extra money they getting, they sending money back home. You can't be an immigrant in America if you're not sending money back home. Just that simple. And some of them don't like it. Some of them feel pressure to do it. But once again, they get help that we don't. So they can never compare themselves to us, say, hey, I came here and got a whole home in 2 years. You've been living in America for the past 50 years. You don't have a home? What's wrong with you? If they gave me everything they gave you, I'd have had a home in 2 years too, buddy. So don't let them compare themselves to us. And don't be listening to that my mama came over here with $1.75 in her pocket story. Just look like, stop lying. Stop lying. Because you can't come to this country with $1.75. Even if you sneak in illegally, you still got to pay the doggone coyote from the cartel. And he not charging $1.75, is he? So stop lying. So y'all got to shut down people's lies when they talking to you. Don't let them prop themselves up, say $1.75, $1 in their pocket, $5 in their pocket. You're lying, the truth not in you. We know what stuff costs. Even in the 80s, 60s, we still knew what stuff costs. It wasn't $1.75. Always lying. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go ahead on and switch over to the app. I want to get to this next story I want to talk about with this white gentleman here. But I appreciate everybody coming on in. Make sure you subscribe, and we'll check y'all out tomorrow here at 7.